Hi, this is Jatin Dhiman. Welcome to Index Theory's post-market report. Earnings disappointments weigh hard on sentiment. Let's begin. Nifty 50 ended at 25,586, down 109 points or 0.42%, and it closed below critical support levels. Market breadth stayed weak, with 36 advances versus 64 declines. India YYX moved up to 12 points low, rising 4%. Overall, the note here is that risk-off sentiment is rising. Risk conditions point to broad-based selling, with market breadth staying weak. 36 advances versus 64 declines. VIX moved up 4% to 12.0, reflecting nervousness. Key indices were lower, with Sensex at 83,246 down 324 points, Bank Nifty at 59,891 down 204 points, and Nifty 50 at 25,586 down 109 points. Selling was structural, not isolated. Risk-off mood and earnings disappointments kept buyers on the sidelines. Wipro slid 8% after Q3 profit drops and weak guidance, renewing anxiety across IT. Reliance fell 3% post Q3 results, and Citi Bank dropped 3% after a Q3 profit decline of around 4% YOY, a miss that hit Bank Nifty sentiment. Index-heavy financials and large caps drove the downside, neutralizing pockets of strength. Sector rotation is clearly tilted towards safety, with capital moving into defensives. FMCG is the standout gainer at 0.67%, marked as a safe haven, while auto is slightly up at 13%. On the weaker side, realty is the biggest drag at 1.99%. Other declines include infra at 0.90%, energy at 0.67%, IT at 0.47%, and PSU banks at 0.31%. Nifty 100 had a clear divergence, with strength in a few names and pressure in others. Among top gainers, CG Power rose about 5% to 590, while Indigo was up around 4% at 4,942. Hinzink also gained 4% to 660. Techem added 3% to 1718, and Hindu Nilvar moved up 2% to 2,414. On the losing side, Wipro slipped 8% to 246, while PNB, Reliance Lodha, and TMPV fell about 3% each. Nifty 50 closed at 25,586, with a breakdown confirmed below S1 support at 25,613. The daily pivot sits at 25,743, and the bias stays cautious until this pivot is reclaimed. On the upside, R1 resistance is placed at 25,124. If weakness continues, the next support to watch is S2 at 25,532. Bank Nifty closed at 59,891, down 0.34%, and is currently in the testing zone around the pivot level of 59,946. The key range to watch is 59,658 on the downside and 60,383 on the upside. The super trend 10,3 reading stays bullish at 58,694. Structurally, it's stronger than the Nifty 50, but it has been weighed down by Aitsiki bank earnings. Momentum signals point to seller dominance. On Nifty 50, RSI 14 is at 11, indicating weak and oversold conditions, while MACD at 137 reflects bearish momentum. Super trend is bearish at 26,079. Bank Nifty also looks weak with RSI 14 at 29 and MACD at 98, again showing bearish momentum. Overall, RSI is nearing oversold, but the trend remains down. Nifty 50 is at 25,586. If it sustains below S1 at 25,613, watch for a test of S2 at 25,532. If it reclaims the pivot at 25,743, keep a long bias and look for R1 at 25,824. For Bank Nifty defense, the primary focus is to hold the pivot near 59.46, with upside target R1 at 63.83 and downside risk at S1 59,658. Market breadth needs to improve, with advances at or above 60% to signal a reversal. Keep an eye on the realty sector turning green after a 1.99% move. For earnings stability, Wipro and Reliance need price stabilization. Final bias stays cautious. Nifty closed below S1 in the pivot, and longs look risky until 25,743 is reclaimed. Like, subscribe, and share your view in the comments. Hit the bell for updates. Comment below. Will Nifty reclaim the 25,743 pivot, or will it test S2 at 25,532?